What is up, you guys? Namco here, putting you my perspective as to what entertainment is bringing us. And today, I will be talking about Pac-Man World Re-Pac, a remake of Pac-Man World, which was exclusively released for the PlayStation 1. The remake was announced at a Nintendo Partner Showcase in summer 2022 and was released for all platforms on August 26th of the same year. The game received positive reviews from critics and fans of the original game, with some people calling it the definitive version of the game. I'm one of those people. Sales for the remake are unknown at the moment, although the original version did sold over 1 million copies. So I'm going to assume that the remake did fine, considering that the World Trilogy has a big fan base in the Pac-Man community. So the story starts off with the ghost crashing Pac-Sis' birthday by kidnapping his family. That includes his dog, his wife, and his kids. Pac-Man sets out to rescue his family and defeats the ghost, along with the mastermind behind all this, Toc-Man. Pac-Man World is a 3D platform, but it is a different kind of platformer compared to the likes of Mario, Crash, Sonic, and Spyro at the time. The game mixes platformer with a lot of elements from the Pac-Man maze games. I think it was executed very well, honestly. One of the added elements from the maze games that I really like was that the fruits in the OG game are collectibles in World 1. They incentivize you to get all the fruits in each level just to show that you 100% the game. Some of the fruits you would get are required in order to progress through the levels. They added some puzzle elements in the game too. The controls are very good. Better than the original version, I would say. Pac-Man controls much smoother, and the improved level design helps with that too. While I haven't played the original version in a long time, I do recall the controls in the OG version bothering me at times. The music is great. Not a lot of people talk about this aspect when it comes to Pac-Man in general. But trust me when I say this dude has quite a bit of discography in his belt. The original OST was composed by Todd Dennis under the Tommy Tallarico Studios, but it was remade in the remake version. A lot of the songs in the remake sound better if you ask me. Songs like Buccaneer Beach, Far Out, Crazy Cannonade, Under Pressure, and Corsair's Code are some of my favorite songs in the game. The one aspect that I would say is a downgrade from the original version is the presentation. So, in the original version of the game, not only did it have cutscenes, there was also voice acting as well. In the remake, there is none of that. Yes, there are cutscenes, but compared to the OG version, it's you could tell the budget was not there. Also, they're speaking gibberish in the remake. And another aspect of the remake that irked the fanbase was that some of the characters that were in the original got replaced. Mainly the Pac family. Characters like Pac-Man Jr., Baby Pac, and the more notable one of all, Miss Pac-Man, was replaced by Pac-Mom, Pac-Boy, and Pac-Sis. Why is that, you may ask? Well, you can thank the company Act Games for that, as they own the rights to all of these characters that I mentioned. Most infamously, Miss Pac-Man, as Namco is having a dispute with them as to who owns Missy. And because of Act Games, Miss Pac-Man is nowhere to be found in any Pac-Man material in almost a decade. So to keep it short, fuck Ad Games for putting Missy in a legal limbo, and now she will unfortunately be a forgotten relic in the gaming industry as time goes on. Oh, and another thing about the game, when the game launched, the music sounded terrible, according to the people that played the game day one. The backlash was hurt enough that they patched it, and it sounds great now. I did heard some of the songs when the game first came out. God, the mixing was atrocious. I don't know how that got approved when the game launched. So I'm glad I'm glad they turned that around and they fixed that. Because now it sounds great. I do also want to talk about the bosses because they are fun. Not easy, but I had a good time with them. One of the bosses is a Galaxian boss, which is pretty cool if you ask me. One aspect that people weren't fond of was the amount of backtracking, and while to an extent I understand why. I didn't mind it. It wasn't egregious, but I can understand why it was not well liked. Overall, Pac-Man World Re-Pac is a good remake. A very good remake. Even though there are some hiccups, I do hope that it sells well enough to the point where we could get a remake of Pac-Man World 2. That one is probably the most well-loved game in the franchise. So if it happens, it'll make bank. And Pac-Man World Re-Pac gets a 7.5 out of 5, obviously. So if you want to grab this game, you can grab it you can literally grab it anywhere. You can grab it on Xbox, Nintendo Switch, PS4. It's pretty cheap too compared to other 3D platforms that are selling. I think when it launched, it went up for around $30. It's probably on sale at the moment. I don't know. I don't keep track of what's on sale or what's not. But $30 is a steal if you ask me. Well, yeah, there is one more thing that I want to point out. So in the World Trilogy, Blinky and Clyde's name was switched. So in the Pac-Man World Trilogy, Blinky was called Clyde, while no, it wasn't Blinky. It was Inky. Yeah, sorry about that. In the World Trilogy, Inky was called Clyde, and Clyde was called Inky. Not sure if that was a very big oversight, but they stuck with that in the World Trilogy. That was until Re-Pac that they fixed that. That was interesting if you ask me. I'm not sure if they kept that I'm not sure if they kept that oversight in the World Rally. I might have to check. But otherwise, Pac-Man World Re-Pac gets a 7.5 out of 10. So for those of you that have played it, did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And if you want to, you can follow my Instagram, backlog, and letterbox down in the description down below. This is Namco. I'll see y'all next time.